Albeit the world think Machiavel is dead. Yet was his soul but flown beyond the Alps, and now the Guise is dead, is come from France to view this land and frolic with his friends. To some, perhaps, my name is odious, but such as love me, guard me from their tongues, and let them know that I am Machiavel, and weigh not men, and therefore not men's words. Admired I am of those that hate me most. Though some speak openly against my books, yet will they read me, and thereby attain to Peter's chair, and when they cast me off, are poisoned by my climbing followers. I count religion but a childish toy, and hold there is no sin but ignorance. Birds of the air will tell of murders past. I am ashamed to hear such fooleries. Many will talk of title to a crown. What right had Caesar to the empery? Might first made kings, and laws were then most sure, when like the Dracos they were writ in blood. Hence comes it that a strong-built citadel commands much more than letters can import, which Maxima had Phalaris observed, he'd never bellowed in a brazen bull of great one's envy. But whither am I bound? I come not, to read a lecture here in Brittany, but to present the tragedy of a Jew, who smiles to see how full his bags are crammed, which money was not got without my means. I crave but this: grace him as he deserves, and let him not be entertained the worse, because he favors me.
So, that of thus much that return was made, and of the third part of the Persian ships, there was the venture summed and satisfied. As for those Samnites and the men of Uz that brought my Spanish oils and wines of Greece, here have I pursed their paltry silverlings. Fie, what a trouble it is to count this trash. Well fare the Arabians, who so richly pay the things they traffic for with wedge of gold, whereof a man may easily in a day tell that which may maintain him all his life. The needy groom that never fingered groat would make a miracle of thus much coin, but he whose steel-barred coffers are crammed full, and all his lifetime have been tired wearing his fingers' ends with telling it, would in his age be loath to labour so, and for a pound to sweat himself to death. Give me the merchants of the Indian mines that trade in metal of the purest mould, the wealthy Moor that in the eastern rocks without control can pick his riches up, and in his house heap pearl like pebble stones, receive them free and sell them by the weight. Bags of fiery opals, sapphires, amethysts, jacinths, hard topaz, grass, green emeralds, beauteous rubies, sparkling diamonds, and seldom costly stones of so great price as one of them, indifferently rated and of a carat of this quantity, may serve in peril of calamity to ransom great kings from captivity. This is the ware wherein consists my wealth. And thus, methinks, should men of judgment frame their means of traffic from the vulgar trade, and as their wealth increaseth, so enclose infinite riches in a little room. But now, how stands the wind? Ha! To the east? Yes. See how stands the veins, east and by south. Why then, I hope my ships I sent for Egypt and the bordering isles are gotten up by Nilus winding banks. Mine argosy from Alexandria, loaden with spice and silks, now under sail, are smoothly gliding down by Candy shore to Malta, through our Mediterranean Sea. But who comes here? How now?
Barabas, thy ships are safe, riding in Malta road, and all the merchants with all their merchandise are safe arrived, and have sent me to know whether yourself will come and custom them.
The ships are safe, thou sayest, and richly fraught?
They are.
Why then, go bid them come ashore, and bring with them their bills of entry. I hope our credit in the custom house will serve as well as I were present there. But art thou master in a ship of mine, and is thy credit not enough for that?
The very custom barely comes to more than many merchants of the town are worth, and therefore far exceeds my credit, sir.
Go tell them the Jew of Malta sent thee, man. Thus, who amongst them knows not Barabas?
I go.
So then, there's somewhat come. Sirrah, which of my ships art thou master of?
Of the Speranza, sir.
Mine argosy at Alexandria. Thou couldst not come from Egypt or by Caire, but at the entry there into the sea where Nilus pays his tribute to the main, thou must needs sail by Alexandria.
I neither saw them nor inquired of them, but this we heard some of our seamen say. They wondered how you durst with so much wealth trust such a crazed vessel, and so far.
Tush, they are wise. I know her, and her strength. But go thou thy ways, discharge thy ship, and bid my factor bring his loading in.
I will, Barabas.
And yet I wonder at this argosy.
Thine argosy from Alexandria, no Barabas, doth ride in Malta road, laden with riches and exceeding store of Persian silks, of gold and Orient pearl.
How chance you came not with those other ships that sailed by Egypt?
Sir, we saw not.
Belike they coasted round by Candy shore about their oils or other businesses. That was ill done of you to come so far without the aid or conduct of their ships.
Sir, we were wafted by a Spanish fleet that never left us till within a league that had the galleys of the Turk in chase.
Oh, they were going up to Sicily. Well, go, and bid the merchants and my men dispatch, and come ashore and see the fraught discharged.
I go.
Thus travels our fortune in by land and sea, and thus are we on every side enriched. These are the blessings promised to the Jews, and herein was old Abram's happiness. What more may heaven do for earthly men than thus to pour out plenty in their laps, ripping the bowels of the earth for them, making the sea their servant, and the winds to drive their substance with successful blasts? Who hateth me but for my happiness? Or who is honored now but for his wealth? Rather had I, a Jew, be hated thus than pitied in a Christian poverty. For I can see no fruit in all their faith, but malice, falsehood, and excessive pride, which methinks fits not their profession. Haply some hapless man hath conscience, and for his conscience lives in beggary. They say we are a scattered nation. I cannot tell, but we have scrambled up more wealth by far than those that brag of faith. There's Kyria Charim, the great Jew of Greece, Obed in Bairseth, Nonez in Portugal, myself in Malta, some in Italy, many in France, and wealthy every one. Aye, wealthier far than any Christian. I must confess we come not to be kings. That's not our fault. Alas, our numbers few, and crowns come either by succession or urged by force, and nothing violent, oft have I heard tell, can be permanent. Give us a peaceful rule. Make Christians kings that thirst so much for principality. I have no charge, nor many children, but one sole daughter, whom I hold as dear as Agamemnon did his Iphigen, and all I have is hers. But who comes here?
I shall not meet was done of policy.
Come, therefore, let us go to Barabas, for he can counsel best in these affairs. And here he comes.
Why, how now, countrymen? Why flock you thus to me in multitudes? What accidents betid it to the Jews?
A fleet of warlike galleys, Barabas, are come from Turkey and lie in our road, and they, this day, sit in the council house to entertain them in their embassy.
Well, let them come, so they come not to war. Or let them war, so we be conquerors. Nay, let them combat, conquer, and kill all, so they spare me, my daughter, and my wealth.
Were it for confirmation of a league, they would not come in warlike manner thus.
I fear their coming will afflict us all.
Fond man, what dream you of their multitudes? What need they treat of peace that are in league? The Turks and those of Malta are in league. Tut, tut, there's some other matter in't.
Why, Barabas, they come for peace or war?
Haply for neither, but to pass along towards Venice by the Adriatic Sea, with whom they have attempted many times, but never could effect their stratagem.
And very wisely said, it may be so.
But there's a meeting in the Senate House and all the Jews in Malta must be there.
All the Jews in Malta must be there. Aye, like enough. Why then, let every man provide him and be there, for fashion's sake. If anything shall there concern our state, assure yourselves I'll look. And to myself.
I know you will. Well, brethren, let us go.
Let's take our leaves. Farewell, good Barabas.
So, farewell, Zarev, farewell, Talmayant. And Barabas, now search this secret out. Summon thy senses, call thy wits together. These silly men mistake the matter clean. Long to the Turk did Malta contribute, which tribute all in policy. I fear the Turks have let increase to such a sum as all the wealth of Malta cannot pay. And now, by that advantage, thinks belike to seize upon the town. Aye, that he seeks. Howe'er the world go, I'll make sure for one, and seek in time to intercept the worst, warily guarding that which I have got. Ego mihimit sum, semper proximus. Why, let them enter, let them take the town.
Now, Bashaws, what demand you at our hands?
Know, knights of Malta, that we came from Rhodes, from Cyprus, Candy, and those other isles that lie betwixt the Mediterranean Sea.
What's Cyprus, Candy, and those other isles to us or Malta? What at our hands demand you?
The 10 years' tribute that remains unpaid.
Alas, my lord, the sum is over great. I hope your highness will consider us.
I wish, grave governor, 'twere in my power to favour you. But 'tis my father's cause, wherein I may not, nay, I dare not dally.
Then give us leave, great Salim Calimath.
Stand all aside and let the knights determine. And send to keep our galleys under sail, for happily we shall not tarry here. Now, governor, how are you resolved?
Thus, since your hard conditions are such that you will needs have 10 years' tribute passed, we may have time to make collection amongst the inhabitants of Malta for it.
That's more than is in our commission.
What, Calipine, a little courtesy? Let's know their time. Perhaps it is not long, and 'tis more kingly to obtain by peace than to enforce conditions by constraint. What respite ask you, governor?
But a month.
We grant a month, but see you keep your promise. Now launch our galleys back again to sea, where we'll attend the respite you attain, and for the money send our messenger. Farewell, great governor, and brave knights of Malta.
And all good fortune wait on Calimath. Go on and call those Jews of Malta hither. Were they not summoned to appear today?
They were, my lord, and here they come.
Have you determined what to say to them?
Yes, give me leave. And Hebrews, now come near. From the Emperor of Turkey is arrived great Salim Calimath, his highness son, to levy of us 10 years' tribute past. Now then, hear know that it concerneth us.
Then, good my lord, to keep your quiet still, your lordship shall do well to let them have it.
Soft Barabas, there's more longs to it than so. To what this 10 years' tribute will amount, that we have cast, but cannot compass it, by reason of the wars that robbed our store. And therefore are we to request your aid.
Alas, my lord, we are no soldiers. What's our aid against so great a prince?
Tut you! We know thou art no soldier. Thou art a merchant and a moneyed man, and 'tis thy money, Barabas, we seek.
My lord, my money?
Thine and the rest. For to be short amongst you, it must be had.
Alas, my lord, the most of us are poor.
Then let the rich increase your portions.
Are strangers with your tribute to be taxed?
Have strangers leave with us to get their wealth, then let them with us contribute.
How? Equally?
No, Jew, like infidels. For through our sufferance of your hateful lives, who stand accursed in the sight of heaven, these taxes and afflictions are befallen. And therefore thus we are determined. Read there the articles of our decrees.
First, the tribute money of the Turks shall all be levied amongst the Jews, and each of them to pay 1/2 of his estate.
How half is this plate? I hope you mean not mine.
Read on.
Secondly, he that denies to pay shall straight become a Christian.
How a Christian? What's here to do?
Lastly, he that denies this shall absolutely lose all he has.
Oh, my lord, we will give half.
Oh, earth-matter villains and no Hebrews born! And will you basely thus submit yourselves to leave your goods to their arbitrament?
Why, Barabas, wilt thou be christened?
No, Governor, I will be no convertite.
Then pay thy half.
Why? Know you what you did by this device? Half of my substance is a city's wealth. Governor, it was not got so easily, nor will I part so slightly therewithal.
Sir, half is the penalty of our decree. Either pay that, or we will seize on all.
Can't be of the deal! Stay. You shall have half. Let me be used but as my brethren are.
No, Jew, thou hast denied the articles, and now it cannot be recalled. Officer, to his house.
Wilt thou then steal my goods? Is theft the ground of your religion?
No, Jew, we take particularly thine to save the ruin of a multitude, and better one want for a common good than many perish for a private man. Yet, Barabas, we will not banish thee. But here in Malta, where thou gotst thy wealth, live still, and if thou canst, get more.
Christians, what or how can I multiply? Of naught is nothing made.
From naught at first thou camest to little wealth, from little unto more, from more to most. If your first curse fall heavy on thy head, and make thee poor and scorned of all the world, 'tis not our fault, but thy inherent sin.
What? Bring you scripture to confirm your wrongs? Preach me not out of my possessions. Some Jews are wicked, as all Christians are. But say the tribe that I descended of were all in general cast away for sin, shall I be tried by their transgression? The man that dealeth righteously shall live, and which of you can charge me otherwise?
Out, wretched Barabas! Shamest thou not thus to justify thyself as if we knew not thy profession? If thou rely upon thy righteousness, be patient, and thy riches will increase. Excess of wealth is cause of covetousness, and covetousness, oh, 'tis a monstrous sin.
Aye, but theft is worse. Thus, take not from me then, for that is theft. And if you rob me thus, I must be forced to steal and compass more.
Grave governor, list not to his exclaims. Convert his mansion to a nunnery. His house will harbour many holy nuns.
It shall be so. Now, officers, have you done?
Aye, my lord, we have seized upon the goods and wares of Barabas, which being valued amount to more than all the wealth in Malta. And of the other, we have seized half.
Well then, my lord, say, are you satisfied? You have my goods, my money, and my wealth, my ships, my store, and all that I enjoyed, and having all, you can request no more, unless your unrelenting flinty hearts suppress all pity in your stony breasts, and now shall move you to bereave my life.
No, Barabas, to stain our hands with blood is far from us and our profession.
Why, I esteem the injury far less to take the lives of miserable men than be the causers of their misery. You have my wealth, the labor of my life, the comfort of mine age, my children's hope, and therefore ne'er distinguish of the wrong.
Content thee, Barabas, thou hast naught but right.
Your extreme right does me exceeding wrong. But take it to you in the devil's name.
Come, let us in, and gather of these goods the money for this tribute of the Turk.
'Tis necessary that be looked unto, for if we break our day, we break the league, and that will prove but simple policy.
Aye. Policy. That's their profession. And not simplicity, as they suggest. The plagues of Egypt and the curse of heaven, earth's barrenness and all men's hatred, inflict upon them, thou great primus motor! And here, upon my knees, striking the earth, I ban their souls to everlasting pains and extreme tortures of the fiery deep that thus have dealt with me in my distress.
Oh, yet be patient, gentle Barabas.
Oh, silly brethren, born to see the day! Why stand you thus unmoved with my laments? Why weep you not to think upon my wrongs? Why pine not I and die in this distress?
Why, Barabas, as hardly can we brook the cruel handling of ourselves in this. Thou seest they have taken half our goods.
Why did you yield to their extortion? You were a multitude, and I but one, and of me only have they taken all.
Yet, brother Barabas, remember Job.
What tell you me of Job? I wot his wealth was written thus. He had 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, and 200 yoke of labouring oxen, and 500 she-asses. But for every one of those, had they been valued at indifferent rate, I had at home, and in mine argosy and other ships that came from Egypt last, as much as would have bought his beasts and him, and yet have kept enough to live upon, so that not he, but I, may curse the day, thy fatal birthday, forlorn Barabas, and henceforth wish for an eternal night, that clouds of darkness may enclose my flesh and hide these extreme sorrows from mine eyes. For only I have toiled to inherit here the months of vanity and loss of time, and painful nights have been appointed me.
Good Barabas, be patient.
Aye. Pray leave me in my patience. You that were ne'er possessed of wealth are pleased with want. But give him liberty at least to mourn, that in a field amidst his enemies doth see his soldiers slain, himself disarmed, and knows no means of his recovery. Aye, let me sorrow for this sudden chance. 'Tis in the trouble of my spirit that I speak. Great injuries are not so soon forgot.
Come, let us leave him in his ireful mood. Our words will but increase his ecstasy.
On then. But trust me, 'tis a misery to see a man in such affliction. Farewell, Barabas.
I fare you well. See the simplicity of these base slaves. For the villains have no wit themselves, think me to be a senseless lump of clay that will with every water wash to dirt. No, Barabas is born to better chance, and framed of finer mould than common men that measure naught but by the present time. A reaching thought will search his deepest wits and cast with cunning for the time to come. For evils are apt to happen every day. But whither wends my beauteous Abigail? Oh, what has made my lovely daughter say? What woman moan not for a little loss? Thy father has enough in store for thee.
Not for myself, but aged Barabas. Father, for thee lamenteth Abigail. But I will learn to leave these fruitless tears, and urge thereto with my afflictions, with fierce exclaims, run to the Senate house, and in the Senate reprehend them all, and rent their hearts with tearing of my hair, till they reduce the wrongs done to my father.
No, Abigail. Things past recovery are hardly cured with exclamations. Be silent, daughter. Sufferance breeds ease. and time may yield us an occasion which on the sudden cannot serve the turn. Besides, my girl, think me not at all so fond as negligently to forego so much without provision for thyself and me. 10,000 Portuguese, besides great pearls, rich costly jewels, and stones infinite. Fearing the worst of this before it fell, I closely hid.
Where, father?
In my house, my girl.
Then shall they ne'er be seen of Barabas, for they have seized upon thy house and wares.
But they will give me leave once more I try to go into my house.
That may they not. For there I left the governor placing nuns, displacing me, and of thy house they mean to make a nunnery where none but their own sect must enter in, men generally barred.
My gold, and all my wealth is gone. You partial heavens, have I deserved this plague? What will you thus oppose me, luckless stars, to make me desperate in my poverty, and
knowing me impatient in distress, think me so mad as I will hang myself, that I may vanish o'er the earth in air, and leave no memory that e'er I was?
No, I will live. Nor loathe I this my life. And since you leave me in the ocean thus to sink or swim, and put me to my shifts, I'll rouse my senses and awake myself. Daughter, I have it. Thou perceivest the plight wherein these Christians have oppressed me. Be ruled by me, for in extremity we ought to make bar of no policy.
Father, whate'er it be to injure them that have so manifestly wronged us, what will not Abigail attempt?
Why so? Then thus. Thou toldst me they have turned my house into a nunnery, and some nuns are there.
I did.
Then, Abigail, there must my girl entreat the abbess to be entertained.
How? As a nun?
Aye, daughter, for religion hides many mischiefs from suspicion.
Aye, but father, they will suspect me there.
Let them suspect, but be thou so precise as they may think it done of holiness. Entreat them fair, and give them friendly speech, and seem to them as if thy sins were great, till thou hast gotten to be entertained.
Thus, father, shall I much dissemble?
Tush, as good dissemble that thou never meanst, as first mean truth, and then dissemble it. A counterfeit profession is better than unseen hypocrisy.
Well, father, say I be entertained, what then shall follow?
This shall follow then. There have I hid, close underneath the plank that runs along the upper chamber floor, the gold and jewels which I kept for thee. But here they come. The cunning Abigail.
Then, father, go with me.
No, Abigail, in this it is not necessary I be seen, for I will seem offended with thee for't. Be close, my girl, for this must fetch my gold.
Sisters, we now are almost at the new made nunnery.
The better, for we love not to be seen. 'Tis 30 winters long since some of us did stray so far amongst the multitude.
But, madam, this house and the waters of this new made nunnery will much delight you.
It may be so. But who comes here?
Brave abbess, and you, happy virgin's guide, pity the state of a distressed maid?
What art thou, daughter?
The hopeless daughter of a hapless Jew, the Jew of Malta, wretched Barabas, sometime the owner of a goodly house, which they have now turned to a nunnery.
Well, daughter, say, what is thy suit with us?
Fearing the afflictions which my father feels proceed from sin or want of faith in us, I pass away my life in penitence, and be a novice in your nunnery to make atonement for my labouring soul.
No doubt, brother, but this proceedeth of the spirit.
Aye, and of a moving spirit too, brother. But come, let us entreat she may be entertained.
Well, daughter, we admit you for a nun.
First, let me as a novice learn to frame my solitary life to your straight laws, and let me lodge where I was wont to lie. I do not doubt, by your divine precepts and mine own industry, but to profit much.
As much, I hope, as all I hid is worth.
Come, daughter, follow us.
Wait! How now, Abigail? What makest thou amongst these hateful Christians?
Hinder her not, thou man of little faith, for she has mortified herself.
How mortified?
And is admitted to the sisterhood.
Child of perdition, and thy father's shame! What wilt thou do among these hateful fiends? I charge thee, on my blessing, that thou leave these devils and their damned heresy.
Father, give me...
Nay, back, Abigail.
And think upon the jewels and the gold. The board is marked with a cross that covers it.
Away! Accursed from thy father's sight!
Barabas, although thou art in misbelief and will not see thine own afflictions, yet let thy daughter be no longer blind.
Blind friar, I reck not thy persuasions. For I had rather die than see her thus. Wilt thou forsake me too in my distress, seduced daughter?
Go, forget not.
Becomes it Jews to be so credulous?
Tomorrow early I'll be at the door.
No, come not at me. If thou wilt be damned, forget me, see me not, and so be gone.
Farewell, remember me tomorrow morning.
Out, out, thou wretch!
She shall be brought to his house in raiment of needlework, the virgins her companions.
Who's this? Fair Abigail, the rich Jew's daughter, become a nun? Her father's sudden fall has humbled her and brought her down to this. Tut, she were fitter for a tale of love than to be tired out with orisons. And better would she far become a bed, embrace it in a friendly lover's arms, than rise at midnight to a solemn mass.
Why, how now, Dom Matthias? In a dump?
Believe me, noble Lodowick, I have seen the strangest sight in my opinion that ever I beheld.
What was it, I prithee?
A fair young maid, scarce 14 years of age, the sweetest flower in Cytherea's field, cropped from the pleasures of the fruitful earth, and strangely metamorphosed to a nun.
But say, what was she?
Why, the rich Jew's daughter.
What, Barabas, whose goods were lately seized? Is she so fair?
And matchless beautiful. As had you seen her, 'twould have moved your heart, though countermured with walls of brass, to love, or at the least to pity.
And if she be so fair as you report, 'twere time well spent to go and visit her. How say you, shall we?
I must, and will, sir. There's no remedy.
And so will I too, or it shall go hard. Farewell, Matthias.
Farewell, Lodowick.
Thus, like the sad presaging raven that tolls the sick man's passport in her hollow beak, and in the shadow of the silent night doth shake contagion from her sable wings, vexed and tormented runs poor Barabas with fatal curses towards these Christians. The uncertain pleasures of swift-footed time have ta'en their flight and left me in despair. And of my former riches rests no more but bare remembrance, like a soldier's scar that has no further comfort for his maim. O thou that with a fiery pillar ledst the sons of Israel through the dismal shades, light Abraham's offspring, and direct the hand of Abigail this night. O let the day turn to eternal darkness after this. No sleep can fasten on my watchful eyes, nor quiet enter my distempered thoughts, till I have answer of my Abigail.
Now have I happily espied a time to search the plank my father did appoint. Oh, and here, behold, unseen, where I have found the gold, the pearls and jewels which he hid.
Now I remember these old women's words, who in my wealth would tell me winter's tales, and speak of spirits and ghosts that glide by night about the place where treasure hath been hid. And now methinks that I am one of those, for whilst I live, here lives my soul's sole hope, and when I die, here shall my spirit walk.
Now that my father's fortune was so good as but to be about this happy place, It is not so happy. Yet when we parted last, he said he would attend me in the morn. Then gentle sleep, where'er his body rests, give charge to Morpheus that he may dream a golden dream, and of the sudden walk, come and receive the treasure I have found.
Bien para todos, mi ganada nuez. As good go on, as sit so sadly thus. But stay, what star shines yonder in the east? The lodestar of my life, if Abigail... Who's there?
Who's that?
Peace, Abigail, 'tis I.
Then, Father, here receive thy happiness.
Hast thou...
Here. Hast thou... There's more, and more, and more.
Oh, my girl! My gold, my fortune, my felicity, strength to my soul, death to mine enemy. Welcome the first beginner of my bliss.
Oh, Abigail, had I thee here too, then my desires were fully satisfied. But I will practice thy enlargement thence.
Oh, girl! Oh, gold! Oh, beauty! Oh, my bliss!
Father, it draweth towards midnight now, and about this time the nuns begin to wake. To shun suspicion, therefore, let us part.
Farewell, my joy, and by my fingers take a kiss from him that sends it from his soul.
Now, Captain, tell us whither thou art bound. Whence is thy ship that anchors in our road, and why thou camest ashore without our leave?
Governor of Malta, hither am I bound. My ship, the Flying Dragon, is of Spain, and so am I. Del Bosco is my name, Vice-Admiral unto the Catholic King.
'Tis true, my lord, therefore entreat him well.
Our freight is Grecians, Turks, and Afric Moors. For late upon the coast of Corsica, because we vailed not to the Turkish fleet, their creeping galleys had us in the chase. But suddenly the wind began to rise, and then we luffed and tacked, and fought at ease. Some have we fired, and many have we sunk, but one amongst the rest became our prize. The captain slain, the rest remain our slaves, of whom we would make sail in Malta here.
Martin del Bosco. I have heard of thee. Welcome to Malta, and to all of us. But to admit a sail of these thy Turks, we may not, nay, we dare not give consent by reason of a tributary league.
Del Bosco, as thou lovest and honourest us, persuade our governor against the Turk. This truce we have is but in hope of gold, and with that sum he craves might we wage war.
Ha! Will knights of Malta be in league with Turks, and buy it basely too for sums of gold? My lord, remember that to Europe's shame the Christian Isle of Rhodes, from whence you came, was lately lost, and you were stated here to be a deadly enmity with Turks.
Captain, we know it, but our force is small.
What is the sum that Calymath requires?
100,000 crowns.
My lord and king hath title to this isle, and he means quickly to expel them hence. Therefore be ruled by me, and keep the gold. I'll write unto his majesty for aid, and not depart until I see you free.
On this condition shall thy Turks be sold. Go, officers, and set them straight in show. Bosco, thou shalt be Malta's general. We and our warlike knights will follow thee against these barbarous, misbelieving Turks.
So shall you imitate those you succeed. For when their hideous force environed Rhodes, small though the number was that kept the town, they fought it out, and not a man survived to bring the hapless news to Christendom.
So will we fight it out. Come, let's away. Proud, daring Calymath. Instead of gold, we'll send thee bullets wrapped in smoke and fire. Claim tribute where thou wilt, we are resolved. Honour is bought with blood, and not with gold.
This is the marketplace. Here let them stand. Fear not their sale, for they'll be quickly bought.
Everyone's price is written on his back, and so much must they yield or not be sold.
Here comes the Jew. Had not his goods been seized, he'd give us present money for them all.
In spite of these swine-eating Christians, am I become as wealthy as I was? They hoped my daughter would have been a nun, but she's at home. And I have bought a house, as great and fair as is the governor's. And there, in spite of Malta, will I dwell, having Ferneze's hand, whose heart I'll have, aye, and his sons too, or it shall go hard. I am not of the tribe of Levi, I, that can so soon forget an injury. We Jews can fawn like Spaniards when we please, and when we grin, we bite, yet are our looks as innocent and harmless as a lamb's. I learned in Florence how to kiss my hand, heave up my shoulders when they called me dog, and duck as low as any barefoot friar, hoping to see them starve upon a stall, or else be gathered for in our synagogue, that when the offering basin comes to me, even for charity, I may spit into it. Here comes Don Lodowick, the governor's son, one that I love for his good father's sake.
I hear the wealthy Jew walked this way. I'll seek him out and so insinuate that I may have a sight of Abigail, for Don Matthias tells me she is fair.
Now will I show myself to have more of the serpent than the dove, that is, more knave than fool.
Yond walks the Jew. Now for fair Abigail.
Aye, no doubt, but she's at your command.
Barabas! Thou knowest I am the governor's son.
I would you were his father too, sir. That's all the harm I wish you. The slave looks like a hog's cheek, new singed.
Whither walkst thou, Barabas?
No further. 'Tis a custom held with us that when we speak with Gentiles, like to you, we turn into the air to purge ourselves, for unto us the promise doth belong.
Well, Barabas, canst help me to a diamond?
Oh, sir, your father had my diamonds. Yet I have one left that will serve your turn. I mean my daughter, but ere he shall have her, I'll sacrifice her on a pile of wood.
What sparkle does it give without a foil?
The diamond that I talk of ne'er was foiled, but when he touches it, it will be foiled. Lord Lodowick, it sparkles bright and fair.
Is it square or pointed? Pray, let me know.
Pointed it is, good sir, but not for you.
I like it much the better.
So do I too.
How shows it by night?
Outshines Cynthia's rays. You like it better far, o' nights than days.
And what's the price?
Your life, and if you have it... Oh, my lord, we will not jar about the price. Come to my house, and I will gift your honor. With a vengeance.
No, Barabas, I will deserve it first.
Good sir, your father has deserved it at my hands, who of mere charity and Christian ruth to bring me to religious purity, and as it were in catechizing sort, to make me mindful of my mortal sins, against my will, and whether I would or no, seized all I had and thrust me out the doors, and made my house a place for nuns most chaste.
No doubt your soul shall reap the fruit of it.
Aye, but my lord, the harvest is far off. Yet I know the prayers of those nuns and holy friars, having money for their pains, are wondrous, and indeed do no man good. And seeing they are not idle, but still doing, 'tis likely they in time may reap some fruit. I mean, in fullness of perfection.
Barabas, glance not at our holy nuns.
No, but I do it through a burning zeal, hoping ere long to set the house afire. As for the diamond, sir, I told you of, come home, and there's no price shall make us part, even for your honorable father's sake. It shall go hard, but I will see your death. But now I must be gone to buy a slave.
And Barabas, I'll bear thee company.
Come in. Here's the marketplace. What's the price of this slave? 200 crowns! Do the Turks weigh so much?
Sir, that's his price.
Ratest thou this more, but at 200 plates?
No more, my lord.
Why should this Turk be dearer than that more?
Because he is young and has more qualities.
What, hast the philosopher's stone? And thou hast break my head with it, I'll forgive thee.
No, sir. I can cut and shave.
Oh, let me see, sir. Are you not an old shaver?
Alas, sir, I'm a very youth.
A youth? I'll buy you and marry you to Lady Vanity if you do well.
I will serve you, sir.
Some wicked trick or other. It may be under colour of shaving thou'lt cut my throat for my goods. Eh? Tell me, hast thou thy health well?
Aye, passing well.
So much the worse. I must have wandered sickly, and to be but for sparing victuals. 'Tis not a stone of beef a day will maintain you in these chops. Let me see one that's somewhat leaner.
Here's a leaner. I like you him.
Where wast thou born?
In Thrace. Brought up in Arabia.
So much the better. Thou art for my turn. 100 crowns. I'll have him. There's the coin.
Then mark him, sir, and take him hence.
Aye, mark him, you were best, for this is he that by my help shall do much villainy. My lord, farewell. Come, sirrah, you are mine. As for the diamond, Don Lodowick, it shall be yours. I pray, sir, be no stranger at my house. All that I have shall be at your command.
I thank you, sirrah.
Yonder comes Don Matthias. Let us stay. He loves my daughter, and she holds him dear, but I have sworn to frustrate both their hopes and be revenged upon the governor.
What makes the Jew and Lodowick so private? I fear me 'tis about fair Abigail.
This Moor is comeliest, is he not? Speak, son.
No, this is the better, mother. View this well.
Sir, seem not to know me here before your mother, lest she mistrust the match that is in hand. When you have brought her home, come to my house. Think of me as thy father. Son, farewell.
But wherefore talked Don Lodowick with you?
Dutchman, we talked of diamonds, not of Abigail.
Tell me, Matthias, is not that the Jew?
As for the comment on the Maccabees, I have it, sir, and 'tis at your command.
Yes, madam, and my talk with him is but about the borrowing of a book or two.
Converse not with him. He is cast off from heaven. Thou hast thy crowns. Come, let's away.
Sirrah Jew, remember the book.
Marry, will I, sir?
Come, I have made a reasonable market. Let's away.
Now, slave, let me know thy name, and therewithal thy birth, condition, and profession.
Faith, sir, my birth is but mean. My name's Ithamore. My profession, what you please.
Hast thou no trade? Then listen to my words, and I will teach thee that shall stick by thee. First, be thou void of these affections: compassion, love, vain hope, and heartless fear. Be moved at nothing. See thou pity none, but to thyself smile when the Christians moan.
Oh, brave. Master, I worship your nose for this.
As for myself, I walk abroad at nights and kill sick people groaning under walls. Sometimes I go about and poison wells. And now and then, to cherish Christian thieves, I am content to lose some of my crowns, that I may, walking in my gallery, see 'em go pinioned along by my door. Being young, I studied physic and began to practice first upon the Italian. There I enriched the priests with burials, and always kept the sexton's arms in yore with digging graves and ringing dead men's knells. And after that I was an engineer. And in the wars twixt France and Germany, under pretense of helping Charles V, slew friend and enemy with my stratagems. Then after that I was an usurer, and with extorting, cousining, forfeiting, and tricks belonging unto brookery, I filled the jails with bankrupts in a year, and with young orphans planted hospitals, and every moon made some or other mad, and now and then one hanged himself for grief, pinning upon his breast a long great scroll, how I with interest tormented him. But mark how I am blessed for plaguing them. I have as much coin as will buy the town. But tell me now, how hast thou spent thy time?
Faith, master, in setting Christian villages on fire, chaining of eunuchs, binding galley slaves. One time I was an ostler in an inn, and in the night time, secretly, would I steal to travellers' chambers, and there cut their throats. Once at Jerusalem, where the pilgrims kneeled, I strode powder on the marble stones, and therewithal their knees would rankle so, that I have laughed a good to see the cripples go limping home to Christendom on stilts.
Why, this is something. Make account of me as of thy fellow. We are villains both. Both circumcised, we hate Christians both. Be true and secret, thou shalt want no gold. But stand aside, here comes Don Lodowick.
Ah, Barabas, well met. Where is the diamond you told me of?
I have it for you, sir. Please you walk in with me. What for, Abigail? Open the door, I say.
In good time, Father. Here our letters come from Almost, and the post stays here within.
Give me the letters. Daughter, do you hear? Entertain Lodowick, the governor's son, with all the courtesy you can afford, provided that you keep your maidenhead. Use him as if he were a Philistine. Dissemble, swear, protest, vow to love him. He is not of the seed of Abraham. I am a little busy, sir. Pray pardon me. Abigail, bid him welcome for my sake.
For your sake and his own, he's welcome hither.
Daughter, a word more. Kiss him, speak him fair, and like a cunning Jew, so cast about that ye be both made sure ere you come out.
Oh, Father, Don Matthias is my love.
I know it. Yet I say make love to him. Do. It is requisite it should be so. Nay, on my life, it is by Faustus' hand. But you go in. I'll think upon the account. The account is made, for Lodowick dies. My factor sends me word a merchant's fled that owes me for 100 tons of wine. I rate thus much. I have wealth enough. For now, by this has he kissed Abigail, and she vows love to him and he to her. As sure as heaven rained manna for the Jews, so sure shall he and Don Matthias die. His father was my chiefest enemy. Whither goes Don Matthias? Stay a while.
Whither but to my fair love, Abigail?
Thou knowst, and heaven can witness it is true, that I intend my daughter shall be thine.
Aye, Barabas, or else thou wrongst me much.
Oh, heaven forbid I should have such a thought. Pardon me, though I weep. The governor's son will, whether I will or no, have Abigail. He sent her letters, bracelets, jewels, rings.
Does she receive them?
She? No, Matthias, no, but sends them back. And when he comes, she locks herself up fast. Yet, through the keyhole, will he talk to her, while she runs to the window, looking out when you should come, and hail him from the door.
Oh, treacherous Lodowick.
Even now, as I came home, he slipped me in, and I'm sure he is with Abigail.
I'll rouse him then.
Not for all Malta. Therefore, sheath your sword. If you love me, no quarrels in my house. But steal you in, and seem to see him not. I'll give him such a warning ere he goes, as he shall have small hopes of Abigail. Away, for here they come.
What? Hand in hand? I cannot suffer this.
Matthias, Esther loves me, not a word.
Well, let it pass. Another time shall serve.
Barabas, is not that the widow's son?
Aye, and take heed, for he hath sworn your death.
My death? What, is the base-born peasant mad?
No, but happily he stands in fear of that which you, I think, dare dream upon. My daughter here, a paltry, silly girl.
He has my heart. I smile against my will.
Barabas, thou knowest I have loved thy daughter long.
And so has she done you, even from a child.
And now I can no longer hold my mind.
No, the affection that I bear to you.
This is thy diamond. Tell me, shall I have it?
Win it and wear it. It is yet unsoiled. Oh, but I know your lordship would disdain to marry with the daughter of a Jew. And yet I give her many a golden cross with Christian posies round about the ring.
'Tis not thy wealth, but her that I esteem. Yet crave I thy consent.
And mine you have. Yet let me talk to her. This offspring of Cain, this Jebusite that never tasted of the Passover, nor e'er shall see the land of Canaan, nor our Messias that is yet to come, this gentle maggot, Lodowick, I mean, must be deluded. Let him have thy hand, but keep thy heart till Don Matthias come.
What? Shall I be betrothed to Lodowick?
It is no sin to deceive a Christian, for they themselves hold it the principle, faith is not to be held with heretics. But all are heretics that are not Jews. This follows well, and therefore, daughter, fear not. I have entreated her, and she will grant.
Then, gentle Abigail, plight thy faith to me.
I cannot choose, seeing my father bids. Nothing but death shall part my love and me.
Now have I that for which my soul hath longed.
So have not I, but yet I hope I shall.
Oh, wretched Abigail, what hast thou done?
Why on the sudden is your colour changed?
I know not. But farewell, I must be gone.
Stay her ithermore, but let her not speak one word more.
I'll see to it, my lord.
Mute all of a sudden. Here's a sudden change.
Oh, muse not at it. 'Tis the Hebrew's guise that maidens, new betrothed, should weep a while. Trouble her not. Sweet Lodowick, depart. She is thy wife, and thou shalt be mine heir.
Oh, is the custom? Then I am resolved. But rather let the brightsome heavens be dim and nature's beauty choke with stifling clouds than my fair Abigail should frown on me. There comes the villain. Now I'll be revenged.
Be quiet, Lodowick. It is enough that I have made thee sure to Abigail.
Well, let him go.
Matthias, but for me, as you went in at doors, you had been stabbed. But not a word on now. Here must no speeches pass, nor swords be drawn.
Suffer me, Barabas, but to follow him.
No. So shall I, if any hurt be done, be made an accessory of your deeds. Revenge it on him when you meet him next.
For this I'll have his heart.
Do so. Lo, here I give thee Abigail.
What greater gift can poor Matthias have? Shall Lodowick rob me of so fair a love? My life is not so dear as Abigail.
My heart misgives me that to cross your love, he's with your mother. Therefore after him.
What? Is he gone unto my mother?
Nay, if you will stay till she comes herself.
I cannot stay, for if my mother comes, she'll die with grief.
I cannot take my leave of him for tears. Father, why have you thus incensed them both?
What's that to thee?
I'll make them friends again.
You'll make them friends? Are they not Jews enow in Malta, but thou must dote upon a Christian?
I will have Don Matthias. He is my love.
Yes, you shall have him. Go, put her in.
Aye, I'll put her in. This way, my lady.
Now, tell me, Ithamore, how likest thou this?
Faith, master, I think by this you purchased both their lives. Is it not so?
True, and it shall be cunningly performed.
Oh, master, that I might have a hand in this.
Aye, so thou shalt, 'tis thou must do the deed. Take this and bear it to Matthias straight, and tell him that it comes from Lodowick.
'Tis poisoned, is it not?
No. And yet it might be done that way. It is a challenge, feigned from Lodowick.
Fear not. I'll so set his heart afire that he shall verily think it comes from him.
I cannot choose but like thy readiness, yet be not rash, but do it cunningly.
As I behave myself in this, employ me hereafter.
Away then. So, now will I go into Lodowick, and like a cunning spirit, feign some lie, till I have set 'em both at enmity.
Since this town was besieged, my game grows cold. The time has been that but for one bare night 100 ducats have been freely given. But now, against my will, I must be chaste. And yet I know my beauty doth not fail. From Venice, merchants, and from Padua were wont to come rare-witted gentlemen. Scholars, I mean, learned and liberal. And now, save Pilia Bozza, comes there none. And he is very seldom from my house. And here he comes.
Hold thee, wench. There's something for thee to spend.
Oh, 'tis silver, I disdain it.
Aye, but the Jew has gold, and I will have it, or it'll go hard.
Tell me, how camest thou by this?
Faith, walking the back lanes, through the gardens, I chanced to cast mine eyes up to the Jew's counting house, where I saw some bags of money. And in the night, I clambered up with my hooks, and as I was taking my choice, I heard a rumbling in the house. So I took only this and run my way. But here's the Jew's man.
Hide the bag.
Look not towards him, less away. Soon's what I'm looking now keeps, thou betrays anon.
Oh, the sweetest face that ever I beheld. I know she was a courtesan by her attire. Oh, now would I give 100 of the Jew's crowns that I had such a concubine. Well, I have delivered the challenge in such sort as meet they will, and fight and die, brave sport.
Abigail shall see whether Matthias holds her dear or no.
What dares the villain write in such base terms?
I did it, and revenge it if thou darest.
Oh, bravely fought, and yet they thrust not home. Now, Lodowick. Now, Matthias. So, now they have showed themselves to be tall fellows.
Part 'em! Part 'em! Part 'em!
Aye, part them. Now they're dead. Farewell. Farewell.
What sight is this? My Lodwick slain! Oh, these arms of mine shall be thy sepulchre.
Who is this?
My son Matthias slain!
Ah, Lodwig, hadst thou perished by the Turk, wretched Ferneze might avenge thy death.
Thy son slew mine, and I'll revenge his death.
Look, Catherine, look! Thy son gave mine these wounds.
Oh, leave to grieve me, I am grieved enough.
For that my sighs could turn to lively breath, and these my tears to blood, that he might live.
Who made them enemies?
I know not, and that grieves me most of all.
My son loved thine.
And so did Lodwig him.
Lend me that weapon that did kill my son, and it shall murder me.
Nay, madam, stay. That weapon was my son's, and on that rather should Ferneze die.
Hold. Require the causes of their deaths, that we may venge their blood upon their heads.
Then take them up, and let them be interred within one sacred monument of stone, upon which altar I will offer up my daily sacrifice of sighs and tears, and with my prayers pierce impartial heavens till they reveal the causes of our smarts, which force their hands divide united hearts. Come, Catherine, our losses equal are, then of true grief let us take equal share.
Was there ever seen such villainy? So neatly plotted and so well performed. Both held in hand and flatly both beguiled.
Why, how now, Ithamore? Why laughst thou so?
Oh, mistress.
Why, what ailst thou?
Oh, my master. Oh, mistress, I have the bravest, gravest, secret, subtle, bottle-nosed knave to my master that ever gentleman had.
Say, knave, why railst upon my father thus?
Oh, my master has the bravest policy.
Wherein?
Why, no, you're not.
Why, no.
No, you're not of Matthias and Don Lodwig's disaster.
No. What was it?
Why, the devil invented a challenge. My master read it, and I carried it. First to Lodwig and imprimis to Matthias. And then they met. And as the story says, in doleful wise they ended both their days.
And was my father furtherer of their deaths?
Am I Ithamore?
Yes.
So sure did your father write, and I carry the challenge.
Well, Ithamore, let me request thee this. Go to the new-made nunnery and inquire for any of the friars of St. Jacques, and say, I pray them come and speak with me.
I pray, mistress, will you answer me to one question?
Well, sirrah, what is't?
A very feeling one. Have not the nuns fine sport with the friars now and then?
Go to, sirrah sauce. Is this your question? Get thee gone.
I will forsooth, mistress.
Hard-hearted father. Unkind Barabas. Was this the pursuit of thy policy? To make me show them favour severally, that by my favour they should both be slain? Admit thou lovest not Lodwig for his sire, yet Don Matthias ne'er offended thee. But thou wouldst set upon extreme revenge, because the prior dispossessed thee once, and couldst not venge it but upon his son. Nor on his son, but by Matthias means, nor on Matthias, but by murdering me. But I perceive there is no love on earth, pity in Jews, nor piety in Turks. But here comes cursed Ithamore with the friar.
Virgo salve.
When ducky?
Welcome, grave friar. Ithamore, be gone. No, holy sir, I am bold to solicit thee.
Wherein?
To get me be admitted for a nun.
Why, Abigail, it is not yet long since that I did labour thy admission, and then thou didst not like that holy life.
Then were my thoughts so frail and unconfirmed, and I was chained to the follies of the world. But now experience, purchased with grief, has made me see the difference of things. My sinful soul, alas, hath paced too long the fatal labyrinth of misbelief, far from the sun that gives eternal life.
Who taught thee this?
the abbess of the house, whose zealous admonition I embrace. Oh, therefore, Giacomo, let me be one, although unworthy of that sisterhood.
Abigail, I will. But see thou change no more, for that will be most heavy to thy soul.
That was my father's fault.
Thy father's how?
Nay, you shall pardon me. Oh, Barabas, though thou deservest hardly at my hands, yet never shall these lips betray thy life.
Come, shall we go?
My duty waits on you.
What? Abigail become a nun again? False and unkind. What hast thou lost thy father? And all unknown and unconstrained of me, art thou again got to the nunnery? Now here she writes and wills me to repent. Repentance, spotcha! What pretendeth this? I fear she knows. 'Tis so of my device in Don Matthias and Lodovico's death. If so, 'tis time that it be seen into. For she that varies from me in belief gives great presumption that she loves me not. But who comes here? Oh, Ithamore, come near, my love. Come near thy master's life, my trusty servant, nay, my second self. For I have now no hope, but even in thee, and on that hope my happiness is built. When saw'st thou Abigail?
Today.
With whom?
A friar.
A friar? False villain, he had done the deed.
How, sir?
Why, made mine Abigail a nun.
That's no lie, for she sent me for him.
Oh, unhappy day! False, credulous, inconstant Abigail! But let him go. And Ithamore, from hence, ne'er shall she grieve me more with her disgrace. Ne'er shall she live to inherit aught of mine, be blessed of me, nor come within my gates, but perish underneath my bitter curse.
Oh, master.
Ithamore, entreat not for her. I am moved, and she is hateful to my soul and me. Unless thou yield to this that I entreat, I cannot think but that thou hatest my life.
Who, I, master? Why, I run to some rock and throw myself headlong into the sea. Why, I'd do anything for your sweet sake.
Oh, just Ithamore, no servant, but my friend. I here adopt thee for mine only heir. All that I have is thine when I am dead, and whilst I live, use half, spend as myself. Here, take my keys. I give them thee anon. Go, buy thee garments, but thou shalt not want. Only know this, that thus thou art to do. But first, go fetch me in the pot of rice that for our supper stands upon the fire.
I hold my head, my master's hungry. I go, sir.
Thus every villain ambles after wealth, although he ne'er be richer than in hope. But hushed.
Here 'tis, master.
Well said, Ithamore. What, hast thou brought the ladle with thee too?
Yes, sir. The proverb says, he that eats with the devil had need of a long spoon. I have brought you a ladle.
Very well. Ithamore, then now be secret, and for thy sake, whom I so dearly love, now shalt thou see the death of Abigail, that thou mayst freely live to be my heir.
Why, master? Will you poison her with a mess of rice porridge? That will preserve life, make her round and plump, and batten more than you were aware.
Aye, but Ithamore, seest thou this? It is a precious powder that I bought of an Italian in Ancona once, whose operation is to bind, infect, and poison deeply, yet not appear in 40 hours after it is ta'en.
How, master?
Thus, Ithamore, this even they use in Malta here, it is called Saint Jaques even, and then, I say, they used to send their alms unto the nunneries. Among the rest, bear this, and set it there. There's a dark entry where they take it in, where they must neither see the messenger nor make inquiry who has sent it them.
How so?
Belike there is some ceremony, and there, Ithamore, must thou go place this pot. Stay, let me spice it first.
Pray do. And let me help you, master. Pray let me taste first.
Prithee do. What sayst thou now?
Troth, master, I'm loath such a pot of pottage should be spoiled.
Peace, Ithamore, 'tis better so than spared. Assure thyself, thou shalt have broth by the eye. My purse, my coffer, and myself is thine.
Well, master, I go.
Stay, first let me stir it, Ithamore. And with her let it work like Borgia's wine, whereof his sire, the Pope, was poisoned, and all the poisons of the Stygian pool break from the fiery kingdom, and in this vomit your venom, and envenom her that like a fiend hath left her father thus.
What a blessing has he given? Was ever pot of rice porridge so sauced? What shall I do with it?
Oh, my sweet Ithamore, go set it down, and come again so soon as thou hast done, for I have other business for thee.
Here's a drench to poison a whole stable of Flanders mares. I'll carry it to the nuns with the powder.
And the horse pestilence to boot. Away!
I'm gone. Pay me my wages, for my work is done.
I'll pay thee with a vengeance, Ithamore.
Welcome, great Bashaw. How fares Calymath? What wind drives you thus into Malta road?
The wind that bloweth all the world besides. Desire of gold.
Desire of gold, great sir? That's to be gotten in the western Ind. In Malta are no golden minerals.
To you of Malta, thus saith Calymath, the time you took for respite is at hand for the performance of your promise past, and for the tribute money I am sent.
Bashaw, in brief, shalt have no tribute here, nor shall the heathens live upon our spoil. First will we raise the city walls ourselves, lay waste the island, hew the temples down, and shipping off our goods to Sicily, open an entrance for the wasteful sea, whose billows beating the resistless banks shall overflow it with their refluence.
Well, Governor, since thou hast broke the league by flat denial of the promised tribute, talk not of raising down your city walls. You shall not need trouble yourself so far. For Selim Calymath shall come himself, and with brass bullets batter down your towers, and turn proud Malta to a wilderness for these intolerable wrongs of yours. And so farewell.
Farewell. And now, you men of Malta, look about, and let's provide to welcome Calymath. Close your portcullis, charge your basilisks, and as you profitably take up arms, so now courageously encounter them. For by this answer broken is the league, and naught is to be looked for now but wars, and naught to us more welcome is than wars.
Oh, brother, all the nuns are sick, and physic will not help them. They must die.
The abbess sent for me to be confessed. Oh, what a sad confession will there be.
And so did fair Maria send for me. I'll to her lodging, hereabout she lies.
What? All dead save only Abigail?
And I shall die too, for I feel death coming. Where is the friar that conversed with me?
Oh, he is gone to see the other nuns.
I sent for him, but seeing you are come, be you my ghostly father, and first know that in this house I lived religiously, chaste and devout, much sorrowing for my sins. But ere I came...
What then?
I did offend high heaven so grievously, as I am almost desperate for my sins. And one offence torments me more than all. You knew Matthias and Don Lodowick?
Yes. What of them?
My father did contract me to them both. First to Don Lodowick. Him I never loved. Matthias was the man that I held dear. And for his sake did I become a nun.
So, say, how was their end?
Both, jealous of my love, envied each other. and by my father's practice, which is there set down at large. The gallants were both slain.
Oh, monstrous villainy.
To work my peace, this I confess to thee. Reveal it not, for then my father dies.
No, that confession must not be revealed. The canon law forbids it, and the priest that makes it known, being degraded first, shall be condemned and then sent to the fire.
So have I heard. Pray, therefore, keep it close. Oh, death seizeth on my heart. Oh, gentle friar, convert my father that he may be saved, and witness that I die a Christian.
Aye, and a virgin too. That grieves me most. But I must to the Jew and exclaim on him, and make him stand in fear of me.
Oh, brother, all the nuns are dead. Let's bury them.
First, help to bury this, then go with me and help me to exclaim against the Jew.
Why, what has he done?
A thing that makes me tremble to unfold.
What? Has he crucified a child?
No, but a worse thing. 'Twas told me in shrift. Thou know'st his death, and if it be revealed. Come, let's away.
There is no music to a Christian's knell. How sweet the bells ring now the nuns are dead. That sound at other times like tinker's pans. I was afraid the poison had not wrought. Although it wrought, it would have done no good. For every year they swell, and yet they live. Now all are dead. Not one remains alive.
That's brave, master. But think you it would not be known?
How can it, if we two be secret?
Oh, for my part, fear you not.
I'd cut thy throat if I did.
And reason too. But here's a royal monastery hard by. Good master, let me poison all the monks.
Thou shalt not need, for now the nuns are dead, they'll die with grief.
Do you not sorrow for your daughter's death?
No, but I grieve because she lived so long. And Hebrew born and would become a Christian. Cazzo diavola!
Look, master, here come two religious caterpillars.
I smelt them ere they came.
God of mercy knows. Come, let's be gone.
Stay, wicked Jew. Repent, I say, and stay.
Thou hast offended, therefore must be damned.
I fear they know we sent the poisoned broth.
And so do I, master. Therefore speak 'em fair.
Barabas, thou hast...
Aye, that thou hast.
True. I have money. What do I have?
Thou art a...
Aye, that thou art.
What needs all this? I know I am a Jew.
Thy daughter.
Aye, thy daughter.
Oh, speak not of her, then I die with grief.
Remember that...
Aye, remember that.
I must needs say that I have been a great usurer.
Thou hast committed...
Fornication, but that was in another country, and besides the wench is dead.
Aye, but Barabas, remember Matthias and Don Lodowick?
Why? What of them?
I will not say that by a forged challenge they met.
She has confessed, and we are both undone. My bosom inmates? But I must dissemble. Oh, holy friars, the burden of my sins lie heavy on my soul. Then pray you tell me, is not too late now to turn Christian? I have been zealous in the Jewish faith, hard-hearted to the poor, a covetous wretch that would for lucre's sake have sold my soul. 100 for 100 I have ta'en, and now for store of wealth may I compare with all the Jews in Malta. But what is wealth? I am a Jew, and therefore am I lost. Would penance, sir, for this my sin, I could afford to whip myself to death.
And so could I. But penance will not serve.
To fast, to pray, and wear a shirt of hair, and on my knees creep to Jerusalem. Cellars of wine, and cellars full of wheat, warehouses stuffed with spices and with drugs, whole chests of gold in bullion and in coin. Besides, I know not how much weight in pearl, orient and round, have I within my house. At Alexandria, merchandise unsold. But yesterday 2 ships went from this town. Their voyage will be worth 10,000 crowns. In Florence, Venice, Antwerp, London, Seville, Frankfurt, Lubeck, Moscow, and where not, have I debts owing. And in most of these, great sums of money lying in the banco. All this I'll give to some religious house, so I may be baptized and live therein.
Oh, good Barabas, come to our house.
Oh, no, good Barabas. Come to our house. And Barabas, you know.
I know that I have highly sinned. You shall convert me. You shall have all my wealth.
Oh, Barabas, their laws are strict.
I know they are, and I will be with you.
They wear no shirts, and they go barefoot too.
Then 'tis not for me, and I am resolved you shall confess me and have all my goods.
Good Barabas, come to me.
You see, I answer him, and yet he stays. With him away, and go you home with me.
I'll be with you tonight.
Come to my house at 1 o'clock this night.
You hear your answer, and you may be gone.
Why go? Get you away.
I will not go for thee.
Not? Then I'll make thee rogue.
Now, just call me rogue.
Part of, master. Part of.
This is mere friendly, brethren. Be content. Friar Bernardine. Go you with Ithamore. You know my mind. Let me alone with him.
Why does he go to thy house? Let him be gone.
I'll give him something, and so stop his mouth. I never heard of any man but he maligned the order of the Jacobins, but do you think that I believe his words? Why, brother, you converted Abigail, and I am bound in charity to requite it, and so I will. Oh, Giacomo, fail not, but come.
But Barabas, who shall be your godfathers? For presently you shall be shrine.
Marry the Turk shall be one of my godfathers, but not a word to any of your convent.
I warrant thee, Barabas.
So, now the fear is past, and I am safe. For he that shrived her is within my house. What if I murdered him ere Giacomo comes? Now I have such a plot for both their lives as never Jew nor Christian knew the like. One turned my daughter, therefore he shall die. The other knows enough to have my life, therefore 'tis not requisite he should live. But are not both these wise men to suppose that I will leave my house, my goods, and all to fast and be well whipped? I'll none of that. Now, Friar Bernardine, I come to you. I'll feast you, lodge you, give you fair words, and after that, I and my trusty Turk. No more but so. It must and shall be done. Ithamore, tell me, is the friar asleep?
Yes, and I know not what the reason is. Do what I can, he will not strip himself, nor go to bed, but sleeps in his own clothes. I fear he must trust what we intend.
No, 'tis an order which the friars use. Yet, if he knew her meaning, could escape.
No, none can hear him. Cry near it so loud.
Why, true. Therefore did I place him there. The other chambers open towards the street.
You lie to master. Wherefore we stay thus? Oh, how I long to see him shake his heels.
Come on, sirrah. Off with your girdle. Make a handsome noose. Friar, awake!
What? Do you mean to strangle me?
Yes, because he used to confess.
Blame not us, but the proverb. Confess and be hanged. Pull hard.
What? Will you have my life?
Pull hard, I say. You would have had my goods.
And our lives too. Therefore, pull him in. 'Tis neatly done, sir. Here's no print at all.
Then is it as it should be? Take him up.
Nay, master. Be ruled by me a little. So. Let him lean upon his staff. Excellent. He stands as if he were begging of bacon.
Who would not think but that this friar lived? What time of night is now, sweet Ithamore?
Towards 1.
Then will not Giacomo be long from hence.
This is the hour wherein I shall proceed. Oh, happy hour, wherein I shall convert an infidel and bring his gold into our treasury. But soft, is not this Bernardine? It is. And understanding I should come this way, stands here a purpose meaning me some wrong, and intercepts my going to the Jew. Bernardine, wilt thou not speak? Thou think'st I see thee not? Away I'd wish thee, and let me go by. No? Wilt thou not? Nay then, I'll force my way. And see, a staff stands ready for the purpose, as thou likest that. Stop me another time.
Why, hello, Giacomo, what hast thou done?
Why, stricken him that would have struck at me.
Who is it?
Bernardine, now out. Alas, he's slain.
Aye, master, he's slain. Look how his brains drop out the nose.
Good sirs, I have done't, but nobody knows it but you two. I may escape.
So might my man and I hang with you for company.
No, let us bear him to the magistrates.
Oh, good Barabas, let me go.
No, pardon me. The law must have his course. I must be forced to give in evidence that being importuned by this Bernardine to be a Christian, I shut him out, and there he sat. Now I, to keep my word and give my goods and substance to your house, was up thus early with intent to go unto your friary, because you stayed.
Fie upon the master. Will you turn Christian when holy friars turn devils and murder one another?
No. For this example, I'll remain a Jew. Heaven bless me. What? A friar? A murderer? When shall you see a Jew commit the like?
Why, a Turk had it done no more.
Tomorrow is the sessions. You shall to it. Come, Ithamore, let's help to take him hence.
You villains! I am a sacred person. Touch me not.
The law shall touch you. Will but lead you, we. Lass, I could weep at your calamity. Take in that staff too, for that must be shown. Law wills that each particular be known.
Didst thou meet with Ithamore?
I did.
And didst thou deliver my letter?
I did.
And what thinkst thou? Will he come?
I think so. And yet I cannot tell, for at the reading of the letter he looked like a man of another world.
Why so?
That such a base slave as he should be saluted by such a tall man as I am from such a beautiful dame as you.
And what said he?
Not a wise word, only gave me a nod, as who should say, is it even so? And so I left him, being driven to a nonplus at the critical aspect of my terrible countenance.
And where didst meet him?
Upon mine own freehold, within 40 foot of the gallows, conning his neck verse, I take it, looking of a friar's execution, whom I saluted with an old hempen proverb, Odie tibi, crass me. So I left him to the mercy of the hangman. But the exercise being done, see where he comes.
I never knew a man take his death so patiently as this friar. He was ready to leap off ere the halter was about his neck. And when the hangman had put on his hempen tippet, he made such haste to his prayers as if he had another cure to serve. Well, go whither he will. I'll be none of his followers in haste. And now I think on't. Going to the execution, a fellow met me with the mosquitoes like a raven's wing, and a dagger with a hilt like a warming pan. And he gave me a letter from one Madame Bellamira, saluting me in such sort as if he had meant to make clean my boots with his lips. The effect was that I should come to her house. I wonder what the reason is. Well, it may be she sees more in me than I can find in myself, for she writes further that she loves me ever since she saw me, and who would not requite such love? Here's her house. Oh, and here she comes, and now I were gone, I'm not worthy to look upon her.
This is the gentleman you writ to.
Gentleman? He flouts me. What gentry can be in a poor Turk of 10pence? I'll be gone.
Is not a sweet-faced youth, Pilia?
Oh, again, sweet youth. Did not you, sir, bring the sweet youth a letter?
I did, sir, and from this gentlewoman, who, as myself and the rest of the family, stand or fall at your service.
Though woman's modesty should hail me back, I can withhold no longer. Welcome, sweet love.
Now I am clean, or rather foully, out of the way.
Oh, whither so soon?
I'll go steal some money from my master to make me handsome. Pray pardon me, I must go see a ship discharged.
Canst thou be so unkind to leave me thus?
And ye did know how she loves you, sir.
Oh, nay, I care not how much she loves me. Sweet Bellamira, would I had my master's wealth for thy sake?
And you can have it, sir, and if you please.
Oh, if 'twere above ground, I could and would have it. But he hides it and buries it up as partridges do their eggs under the earth.
And it's not possible to find it out.
By no means possible.
What shall we do with this base villain, then?
Let me alone. Do but you speak him fair. But you know some secrets of the Jew, which, if they were revealed, would do him harm?
Aye. And such as... Go to. No more. I'll make him send me half he has. I'm glad he skipped so too. Pen and ink. I'll write onto him. We'll have money straight.
Send for 100 crowns at least.
100,000 crowns. Master Barabas.
Right, not so submissively, but threatening him.
Sir Barabas, send me 100 crowns.
Put in 200 at least.
I charge thee, send me 300 by this bearing, and this shall be your warrant. If you do not, no more, but so.
Tell him you will confess.
Otherwise, I'll confess all, vanish and return in a twinkle.
Let me alone. I'll use him in his kind.
Hang him, Jew.
Now, gentle Ithamore, lie in my lap. Where are my maids? Provide a running banquet. Send to the merchant. Bid him bring me silks. Shall Ithamore, my love, go in such rags?
And bid the jeweller come hither too.
Oh, I have no husband, sweet. I'll marry thee.
Content. But we will leave this paltry land and sail from hence to Greece, to lovely Greece. I'll be thy Jason, thou my golden fleece. Where painted carpets o'er the meads are hurled, and Bacchus vineyards overspread the world. Where woods and forests go in goodly green, I'll be Adonis, thou shalt be love's queen. The meads, the orchards, and the primrose lanes, instead of sedge and reed, bear sugar canes. Thou in those grove by this above shalt live with me and be my love.
Oh, whither will I not go with gentle Ithamore?
How now? Hast thou the gold?
Yes.
Look, came it freely. Did the cow give down her milk freely?
At reading of the letter, he stared and stamped and turned aside. I took him by the beard and looked upon him thus. Told him he were best to send it. Then he hugged and embraced me.
Rather for fear than love.
Then, like a Jew, he laughed and jeered, told me he loved me for your sake, and said what a faithful servant you had been.
The more villain he to keep me thus. Here's goodly parlours than not.
To conclude, he gave me 10 crowns.
But 10? I'll not leave him worth a great groat. Give me a ream of paper. We'll have a kingdom of gold for it.
Right for 500 crowns.
Sarah Jew, as you love your life, send me 500 crowns. And give the bearer 100. Tell him I must have it.
I warrant your worship shall have it.
And if he asks why I demand so much, tell him I scorn to write a line under 100 crowns.
You'd make a rich poet, sir. I'm gone.
Take thou the money. Spend it for my sake.
'Tis not thy money, but thyself I weigh. Thus Bellamira esteems of gold, but thus of thee.
That, kiss again. She runs division over my lips. What an eye she casts on me. It twinkles like a star.
Come, my dear love. Let's in and sleep together.
Oh, that 10,000 nights were put in one, that we might sleep 7 years together before we wake.
Come, amorous wag, first banquet, and then sleep.
Send me 300 crowns. Plain Barabas. Oh, that wicked courtesan. He must not want to call me Barabas, or else I will confess. Aye, there it goes. But if I get him, coupe de gorge for that. He sent a shaggy, tottered, staring slave that when he speaks draws out his grisly beard and winds it twice or thrice about his ear, whose face has been a grindstone for men's swords. His hands are hacked, some fingers cut quite off, who, when he speaks, grunts like a hog and looks like one that is employed in catchery and cross-biting. Such a rogue as is the husband to 100 whores, and I, by him, must send 300 crowns. Well, my hope is he will not stay there still. And when he comes, oh, that he were but here.
Jew, I must have more gold.
Why? Want'st thou any of thy tale?
No, but 300 will not serve his turn.
Not serve his turn, sir?
No, sir. And therefore I must have 500 more.
I'd rather...
Oh, good word, sir. And send it you were best. see, there's his letter.
Might he not as well come as send? Pray, bid him come and fetch it. What he writes for you, ye shall have straight.
Aye, and the rest too, or else...
I must make this villain away. Please you dine with me, sir, and you shall be most heartily poisoned.
No, God have mercy. Shall I have these crowns?
I cannot do it, I have lost my keys.
Oh, if that be all, I can pick out your locks.
Or climb up to my counting house window, you know my meaning?
I know enough, and therefore talk not to me of your counting house. The gold, or no Jew, it is in my power to hang thee.
I am betrayed. 'Tis not 500 crowns that I esteem. I'm not moved at that. This angers me, that he, who knows I love him as myself, should write in this imperious vein. Why, sir, you know I have no child, and unto whom should I leave all but unto Ithamore?
He has many words, but no crowns. The crowns.
Commend me to him, sir, most humbly, and unto your good mistress as unknown.
Speak. Shall I have them, sir?
Sir, here they are. Oh, that I should part with so much gold. Here, take 'em, fellow, with as good a will as I would see thee hanged. Oh, love stops my breath. Never loved man's servant as I do Ithamore.
I know it, sir.
Pray when, sir, shall I see you at my house?
Soon enough, to your cost, sir. Fare you well.
Nay, to thine own cost, villain, if thou comest. Was ever Jew tormented as I am, to have a shag-rag knave to come demand 300 crowns and then 500 crowns? Well, I must seek a means to rid them all. And presently, for in his villainy he will tell all he knows, and I shall die for't. I have it. I will, in some disguise, go see the slave, and how the villain revels with my gold.
I'll pledge thee love, and therefore drink it off.
Sayest thou me so? Have it, and do you hear?
Go to, it shall be so.
Of that condition I will drink it up. Here's to thee.
Nay, I'll have all or none.
Well, there. If thou lovest me, do not leave a drop.
Love thee. Fill me 3 glasses.
3 and 50 dozen, I'll pledge thee.
Naively spoken like a knight at arms.
Hey, Revo Castiliano. A man's a man.
Now to the Jew.
Ha, to the Jew. And send me money, you were best.
What wouldst thou do if he should send thee none?
Do nothing. But I know what I know. He's a murderer.
I had not thought he had been so brave a man.
You knew Matthias and the governor's son. He and I killed them both. And yet, never touched him.
Oh, bravely done.
I carried the broth that poisoned the nuns, and he and I, snickle hand too fast, strangled the friar.
You two alone?
We two. And 'twas never known. No, never shall be for me.
This shall with me unto the governor.
And fit it should, but first let's have more gold. Come, gentle Ithamore, lie in my lap.
Love me little, love me love. Let music rumble whilst I and I in coney lap do tumble.
French musician, come, let's hear your skill.
Must tune my lute for sound. Thank pray, sir.
We'll drink, Frenchman. Here's to thee with a... pox on this drunken hiccup.
Bien, merci, monsieur.
Prithee, Piliabotsa, bid the fiddler give me the posy in his hat there.
Sirrah, you must give my mistress your posy.
À votre commandement, madame.
How sweet, my Ithamore, the flowers smell.
Like thy breath, sweetheart. No violet like it.
Poor methinks I stink like hollyhock.
So now I am revenged upon them all. The scent thereof was death. I poisoned it.
Play, fiddler, or I'll cut your catgut into chitterlings.
Pardonnez-moi, be no in tune yet. So, now, all be in.
Give him a crown. And fill me out more wine.
Here's 2 crowns for thee. Play!
How liberally the villain gives me mine own gold.
Methinks he fingers very well.
So did you when you stole my gold.
How swift he runs.
You ran swifter when you threw my gold out of my window.
Musician has been in Malta long.
2, 3, 4 months, madame.
Does not know a Jew. One Barabas.
Very much, monsieur. You know me is man.
I scorn the peasant. Tell him so.
He knows it already.
'Tis a strange thing of that Jew. He lives upon pickled grasshoppers and sauced mushrooms.
What are slaves this? The governor feeds not as I do.
He never put on a clean shirt since he was circumcised.
Oh, rascal. I change myself twice a day.
The hat he wears, Judas left under the elder when he hanged himself.
God sent me for a present from the great Chan.
Oh, a musty slave he is. Whither now, fiddler?
What, monsieur? Me no be well.
Farewell, fiddler. 1 letter more to the Jew.
Prithee, sweet love, 1 more, and write it sharp.
No. I'll send by word of mouth now.
Oh.
Bid him deliver thee 1,000 crowns by the same token that the nuns loved rice, that Friar Bernardine slept in his own clothes. Any of them will do it.
Let me alone to urge it. Now I know the meaning.
The meaning has meaning. Come, let's in. To undo a Jew is charity and not sin.
Now, gentlemen, betake you to your arms, and see that Malta be well fortified. And it behoves you to be resolute, for Calymath, having hovered here so long, will win the town or die before the walls.
And die he shall, for we will never yield.
Oh, bring us to the governor!
Away with her, she is a courtesan.
Whate'er I am, yet, governor, hear me speak. I bring thee news by whom thy son was slain. Matthias did it not. It was the Jew.
Who, besides the slaughter of these gentlemen, poisoned his own daughter, and the nuns strangled a friar, and I know not what mischief beside.
Had we but proof of this.
Strong proof, my lord. His man's now at my lodging that was his agent. He'll confess it all.
Go fetch him straight. I always feared that Jew.
I'll go alone. Dogs, do not hail me thus.
Nor me neither. I cannot outrun you, constable. Oh, my belly.
1 dram of powder more had made all sure. What a damned slave was I.
Make fires, heat irons, let the rack be fetched.
Nay, stay, my lord. It may be he will confess.
Confess? What mean you, lords? Who should confess?
Thou and thy Turk. 'Twas you that slew my son.
Guilty, my lord. I confess. Your son and Matthias were both contracted unto Abigail. He forged a counterfeit challenge.
Who carried that challenge?
I carried it. I confess. But who writ it? Marry, even he that strangled Bernardine, poisoned the nuns and his own daughter.
Away with him. His sight is death to me.
For what? You men of Malta, hear me speak. She is a courtesan and he a thief, and he my bondman. Let me have law, for none of this can prejudice my life.
Once more, away with him. You shall have law.
Devils do your worst. I live in spite of you.
As these have spoke, so be it to their souls.
I hope the poisoned flowers will work anon.
Was my Matthias murdered by the Jew? Ferneze, 'twas thy son that murdered him.
Be patient, gentle madam. It was he. He forged the daring challenge, made them fight.
Where is the Jew? Where is that murderer?
In prison, till the law has passed on him.
My lord, the courtesan and her man are dead. So is the Turk and Barabas the Jew.
Dead?
Dead, my lord. And here they bring his body.
This sudden death of his is very strange.
Wonder not at it, sir. The heavens are just. Their deaths were like their lives, then think not of them. Since they are dead, let them be buried. For the Jew's body, throw that o'er the walls to be a prey for vultures and wild beasts. So, now away, and fortify the town.
What? All alone? Well, fair, sleepy drink. I'll be revenged on this accursed town, for by my means, Calimath shall enter in. I'll help to slay their children and their wives, to fire the churches, pull their houses down, take my goods too, and seize upon my lands. I hope to see the governor a slave, and rowing in a galley, whipped to death.
Whom have we there? A spy?
Yes, my good lord, one that can spy a place where you may enter and surprise the town. My name is Barabas. I am a Jew.
Art thou that Jew whose goods we heard were sold for tribute money?
The very same, my lord. And since that time they have hired a slave, my man, to accuse me of 1,000 villainies. I was imprisoned, but escaped their hands.
Didst break prison?
No, I drank of poppy and cold mandrake juice. And being asleep, belike they thought me dead and threw me over the walls. So, or how else, the Jew is here, and rests at your command.
'Twas bravely done, but tell me, Barabas, canst thou, as thou reportest, make Malta ours?
Fear not, my lord, for here, against the sluice, the rock is hollow, and of purpose digged to make a passage for the running streams and common channels of the city. Now, whilst you give assault unto the walls, I'll lead 500 soldiers through the vault and rise with them in the middle of the town. Open the gates for you to enter in, and by this means the city is your own.
If this be true, I'll make thee governor.
And if it be not true, then let me die.
Thou'st doomed thyself. Assaulted presently. Now veil your pride, you captive Christians, and kneel for mercy to your conquering foe. Now where's the hope you had of haughty Spain? Ferneze, speak. Had it not been much better to keep thy promise than be thus surprised?
What should I say? We are captives and must yield.
Aye, villains, you must yield, and under Turkish yoke shall groaning bear the burden of our ire. And Barabas, as erst we promised thee, for thy desert we make thee governor. Use them at thy discretion.
Thanks, my lord.
O fatal day, to fall into the hands of such a traitor and unhallowed Jew! What greater misery could heaven inflict?
'Tis our command. And Barabas, we give to guard thy person these our Janissaries, and treat them well as we have used thee. And now, brave Bashors, come, we'll walk about the ruined town and see the wrack we made. Farewell, brave Jew. Farewell, great Barabas.
May all good fortune follow Calimath. And now, as entrance to our safety, to prison with the governor and these captains, his consorts and confederates.
O villain, heaven will be revenged on thee.
Away, no more! Let him not trouble me. Thus, hast thou gotten by thy policy no simple place, no small authority. I now am governor of Malta. True, but Malta hates me, and in hating me, my life's in danger. And what boots it thee, poor Barabas, to be the governor, whenas thy life shall be at their command? No, Barabas, this must be looked into. And since by wrong thou gotst authority, maintain it bravely by firm policy. At least unprofitably lose it not. For he that liveth in authority and neither gets him friends nor fills his bags, lives like the ass that Aesop speaketh of, that labours with a load of bread and wine and leaves it off to snap on thistletops. But Barabas will be more circumspect. Begin betimes
Occasions bold behind, slip not thine opportunity, for fear too late thou seek'st for much, but canst not compass it. Within here!
My lord.
Aye, lord. Thus slaves will learn. Now, governor, stand by there. Wait within! This is the reason that I sent for thee. Thou seest thy life and Malta's happiness are at my arbitrament, and Barabas at his discretion may dispose of both. Now, tell me, governor, and plainly too, what thinkst thou shall become of it, and thee?
This, Barabas, since things are in thy power, I see no reason but of Malta's wrack, nor hope of thee but extreme cruelty, nor fear I death, nor will I flatter thee.
Governor, good words. Be not so furious. 'Tis not thy life which can avail me aught, yet you do live, and live for me you shall. And as for Malta's ruin, think you not 'twas slender policy for Barabas to dispossess himself of such a place? For sith, as once you said, within this isle in Malta here, that I have got my goods, and in this city still have had success, and now at length am grown your governor, yourself shall see it shall not be forgot. For, as a friend, not known but in distress, I'll rear up Malta, now remediless.
Will Barabas recover Malta's loss? Will Barabas be good to Christians?
What would thou give me, governor, to procure a dissolution of the slavish bands wherein the Turk hath yoked your land and you? What would you give me if I render you the life of Calymath? Surprise his men, and in an outhouse of the city shut his soldiers till I have consumed them all with fire. What will you give him that procureth this?
Do but bring this to pass which thou pretendst. Deal truly with us as thou intimatest, and I will send amongst the citizens, and by my letters privately procure great sums of money for thy recompense. Nay, more. Do this, and live thou governor still.
Nay, do thou this, Ferneze, and be free. Governor, I enlarge thee. Live with me. Go, walk about the city. See thy friends. Tush, send not letters to him. Go thyself, and let me see what money thou canst make. Here is my hand, that I'll set Malta free. And thus we cast it. To a solemn feast I will invite young Selim Calymath, where be thou present only to perform one stratagem that I'll impart to thee, wherein no danger shall betide thy life, and I will warrant Malta free forever.
Here is my hand. Believe me, Barabas, I will be there, and do as thou desirest. When is the time?
Governor, presently, for Calymath, when he hath viewed the town, will take his leave and sail toward Ottoman.
Then will I, Barabas, about this coin, and bring it with me to thee in the evening.
Do so, but fail not. Now, farewell, Ferneze. And thus far roundly goes the business. Thus, loving neither, will I live with both, making a profit of my policy. And he from whom my most advantage comes shall be my friend. This is the life we Jews are used to lead, and reason too, for Christians do the like. Well, now about effecting this device. First to surprise great Selim's soldiers, and then to make provision for the feast, that at one instant all things may be done. My policy detests prevention. To what event my secret purpose drives, I know, and they shall witness with their lives.
Thus have we viewed the city, seen the sack and caused the ruins to be new repaired, which with our bombards, shot, and basilisks we rent in sunder at our entry, 2 lofty turrets that command the town. And now I see the situation, and how secure this conquered island stands, environed with the Mediterranean Sea, strong countermured with other petty isles, and toward Calabria, backed by Sicily, where Syracusian Dionysius reigned. I wonder how it could be conquered thus.
From Barabas, Malta's governor, I bring a message unto mighty Calimath. Hearing his sovereign was bound for sea, to sail to Turkey, to great Ottoman, he humbly would entreat your majesty to come and see his homely citadel, and banquet with him ere thou leavest the isle.
To banquet with him in his citadel? I fear me, messenger, to feast my train within a town of war so lately pillaged will be too costly and too troublesome. Yet would I gladly visit Barabas, for well has Barabas deserved of us.
Assail him for that, thus saith the governor, that he hath in store a pearl so big, so precious, and withal so orient, as, be it valued but indifferently, the price thereof will serve to entertain Salim and all his soldiers for a month. Therefore, he humbly would entreat your highness not to depart till he has feasted you.
I cannot feast my men in Malta walls, except he places tables in the streets.
No, Salim, that there is a monastery which standeth as an outhouse to the town. There will he banquet them, but thee at home, with all thy bashaws and brave followers.
Well, tell the governor we grant his suit. We'll in this summer evening feast with him.
I shall, my lord.
And now, bold bashaws, let us to our tents, and meditate how we may grace us best to solemnize our governor's great feast.
In this my countrymen be ruled by me. Have special care that no man sally forth till you shall hear a culverin discharged by him that bears the linstock, kindled thus. Then issue out and come to rescue me, for haply I shall be in distress, or you released of this servitude.
Rather than thus to live as Turkish thralls, what will we not adventure?
On then, be gone.
Farewell, grave governor.
Fast? Are all the cranes and pulleys sure? All fast? Leave nothing loose. All leveled, to my mind. Why, now I see that you have art indeed. There, carpenters, divide that gold amongst you. Go swill in bowls of sack and muscadine down to the cellar. Taste of all my wines.
We shall, my lord, and thank you.
And if you like them, drink your fill.
And die. For so I live, perish may all the world. Now, Selim Calimath, return me word that thou wilt come, and I am satisfied.
Now, Silla, what? Will he come?
He will, and has commanded all his men to come ashore and march through Malta streets, that thou mayst feast them in thy citadel.
Then now are all things as thy wish was heaven. Thou wantest nothing but the governor's purse.
And see, he brings it. Now, governor, the sum?
With free consent, 100,000 pounds.
Pounds, sayest thou, governor? Well, since it is no more, I'll satisfy myself with that. Nay, keep it. Still, for if I keep not promise, trust not me. And, governor, now partake my policy. First, for his army, they are sent before, enter the monastery, and underneath, in several places, are field pieces pitched, bombards, whole barrels full of gunpowder, that on the sudden shall dissever it and batter all the stones about their ears, whence none can possibly escape alive. Now, as for Calimath and his consorts, here have I made a dainty gaffery, the floor whereof this cable, being cut, doth fall asunder, so that it doth sink into a deep pit past recovery. Here, hold that knife. And when thou seest he comes, and with his bashaws shall be blithely set, a warning piece shall be shot off from the tower to give thee knowledge when to cut the cord and fire the house. Say, will not this be brave?
Oh, excellent. Here, hold thee, Barabas. I trust thy word. Take what I promised thee.
No, governor, I'll satisfy thee first. Thou shalt not live in doubt of anything. Stand close, for here they come. Why, is not this a kingly kind of trade, to purchase towns by treachery and sell them by deceit? Now tell me, worldlings, underneath the sun, if greater falsehood ever has been done.
Come, my companion Bashos. See, I pray, how busy Barabas is there, above, to entertain us in his gallery. Let us salute him. Save thee, Barabas.
Welcome, great Calymath.
How the slave jeers at him.
Wilt please thee, mighty Salem Calymath, to ascend our homely stairs.
Aye, Barabas. Come, Bashos, attend.
Stay, Calymath, for I will show thee greater courtesy than Barabas would have afforded thee.
Sound the charge, sir!
How now? What means this?
Help! Help me, Christians! Help!
See, Calymath, this was devised for thee.
Treason! Treason! Bashos, fly!
No, Salim, do not fly. See his end first, and then fly if thou canst.
Oh, help me, Salim! Help me, Christians! Governor! Why stand you all so pitiless?
Should I, in pity of thy plaints or thee, accursed Barabas, base Jew, relent? No, thus I'll see thy treachery repaid. But wish thou hadst behaved thee otherwise.
You will not help me then!
No, villain, no!
And villain, no, you cannot help me now! Then, Barabas,
Breathe forth thy latest fate, and in the fury of thy torment, strive to end thy life with
resolution. No, Governor! 'Twas I that slew thy son. I that framed the challenge that did make them meet. No damn Christian dogs and Turkish infidels!
Now begins the extremity of heat to pinch me with intolerable pangs. Die, life, fly, soul, tongue, curse thy fear, and die.
Tell me, you Christians, what doth this portend?
This train he laid to have entrapped thy life. Now, Salim, note the unhallowed deeds of Jews. Thus he determined to have handled thee, but I have rather chose to save thy life.
Was this the banquet he prepared for us? Let's hence, lest further mischief be pretended.
Nay, Salim, stay, for since we have thee here, we will not let thee part so suddenly. Besides, if we should let thee go, all's one, for with thy galleys couldst thou not get hence without fresh men to rig and furnish them.
Tush, Governor, take thou no care for that. My men are all abroad, and do attend my coming there by this.
Why, heardst thou not the trumpet sound a charge?
Yes. What of that?
Why, then the house was fired, blown up, and all thy soldiers massacred.
Oh, monstrous treason!
A Jew's courtesy. For he that did by treason work our fall, by treason hath delivered thee to us. Know therefore, till thy father hath made good the ruins done to Malta and to us, thou canst not part. For Malta shall be freed, or Salim ne'er return to Ottoman.
Nay, rather, Christians, let me go to Turkey, in person there to meditate your peace. To keep me here will naught advantage you.
Content thee, Calymath, here thou must stay, and live in Malta prisoner. For come all the world to rescue thee, so will we guard us now, as sooner shall they drink the ocean dry, than conquer Malta or endanger us. So, march away, and let due praise be given, neither to fate nor fortune, but to heaven.
of Malta by Christopher Marlowe starred Ian McDiarmid as Barabas, with Catherine Hunt as Abigail and Ken Bones as Machiavel and Ferneze. Kieran Cunningham was Ithamore, Michael Grandage was Don Lodowick, and Neil Swettenham was Don Matthias. Friar Giacomo was played by David Fleischman, Friar Bernardine and Calymath by Rod Arthur, Bellamira by Sue Jenkins, Pelia Bortzer by Cliff Howells, and Catherine by Delia Corrie. Other parts were played by Robert Whelan, Oliver Beamish, John Capps, and Dave Bond. The music was composed by Paddy Cuneen, and the musicians were Rob Buckland and Valerie Stark. The Jew of Malta was directed in Manchester by Michael Fox.